All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, a big welcome from the Elevate Yoga. And thank you so much for joining in if you have. And we are still waiting for many more people to join in. Quick introduction. My name is Nidhi. I'm a certified yoga teacher. I have been practicing and teaching since 6 years now. Today, we are here to discuss our favorite topic, that is yoga. It's going to be a light-hearted conversation where we'll be discussing and sharing our experiences on how yoga has made a difference in our lives. So, with me today is a wonderful yoga teacher. Hi, Krupali.
Hello, namaste everyone. Thank you, Nidhi. I hope you are doing well.
Wonderful.
Welcome to
Thank you.
this special live session with Elevate Yoga. Everyone are welcome here, where we basically will focus on the authentic Indian yoga practices. So, let me share a little about myself as well. So, I started my journey back in 2020, and my academic background has always been rooted in science. So I was very studious. I completed my bachelor's, master's, started PhD, but my research was mainly focused on phytotherapeutics and treating cancer. So it was during that time where I truly understood the importance of the holistic health, the mental, physical, emotional well being of a person. So my PhD was incredibly stressful, and it was during the time of COVID where I started to focus on myself, on my well-being, and then I completed the 200-hour teachers training from Rishikesh.
Wonderful. So, how come the switch from becoming a scientist then into a yoga teacher?
Yes, so it was uh, during the time of my PhD, I could correlate the phytotherapeutics with the Ayurveda and that with the science. And after completion of my certification, I understood the importance of the teacher as well. So when I started practicing on my own, I noticed that I directly jumped to the advanced poses like headstand and handstand. I was lacking the fundamentals, the basic part of the yoga in my life. So when I joined the teachers training, I learned this from my teachers and my gurus that teacher play a very important role in our life. So that's why we are here as well, right? So can you share a bit about the Elevate Yoga as well?
Yes, about the Elevate Yoga, we are a platform that believes and has immense trust in the roots of yoga, honoring its traditions, philosophy of yoga, and the authentic, the purest form of teachings. So, our goal is to reach each and every household, each and every individual, may it be whatever age you are at or wherever you are, with genuine yoga teachers, providing genuine yoga teachers so that everyone can experience the changing, life changing capacity of yoga and live a healthier and a happier life. So that's the goal of the Elevate Yoga.
Wonderful, wonderful, nice. So today we are going to talk on few important aspects. As Nidhi also said, that first we will talk about the impact of the yoga in our day-to-day life. Then we'll also talk about how the traditional yoga practices are differing from the Western variations which we see nowadays. Then we will also talk about some common health issues which we face in our day to day life right now. And then the next segment will be how a sustainable routine can help us and some basic tips and tricks, to for those who are having a sedentary lifestyle, sitting jobs, and who are busy with their schedule. So we'll talk about that as well. And at the end, we will address all your questions. So you can drop down your question in the chat box. And whatever questions you have, we will try to answer them all. So stay tuned till the end. And we have a special offer for you as well. So, Niti, as you said, that yoga has a huge impact on our life, right? So, how did it impacted your life? Can you tell me more about it?
How did it impact my life? Yes, so like most of us, when I started my practice, it was mainly about the body. Just getting to move the body, getting the energy flowing, never had any knowledge or understanding that it is so much more beyond that also. So once I started working with the body constantly, I felt good. I kept on going to the class, and slowly and gradually, I started to get that curiosity to learn more. So then I joined the teachers training course, and while I was studying about it, I realized one thing. Number one thing, that why is it not taught in school? Why is this not a main subject for kids in school? Because
Yes,
as the school prepares us for the university or the jobs that we have to pursue ahead, the teachings of yoga prepare us for the universe to face the world. Any stream that you pick up, anything that you are, any job that you take, if you are into yoga, if you're practicing, you're a yoga practitioner, you believe in it, whatever you do, you're going to become better at it. Simple. That is what I started believing it. I started continuing. And even if you're working with the body, I realized it is not for the body. Of course, it is the most important thing, because for us laymen who do not know much about it, we will always begin with the body. But then slowly we will realize that from the body, how do we move to the breath? For example, we are so disoriented, people are so disoriented that they cannot differentiate between the right and the left, right? While they are practicing, if we instruct them, it is just mechanical movement that is happening. But slowly and gradually, you have to come out of that. Why can't we differentiate? Because we are so much into our minds. Individuals are so much into the thinking process all the time. So we need them to come out of their mind, for which we need this physical practice. Okay. So once you start practicing with your body, is when you slowly realize, oh, my breath, now I can feel it, how it feels to breathe fully. And these are all the things that you experience, and the words like mindfulness and awareness, they come into the picture. It was always there. It is just that we have to put that effort to be able to experience it. And so that was my uh, experience about how yoga impacted my life. It has made me open up to my own struggles, which I never knew that they were existing. My own emotions, may it be good, may it be bad. Slowly, gradually, trying to acknowledge them. So yoga has made me more confident, helped me to accept myself the way I am. I need not prove anything to anybody, and that's how it has impacted my life. Yeah.
I also agree with you that the breath has a huge impact. I can say that in our day-to-day life, we forget that how we are breathing. But through yoga, we are starting to focus on that particularly. So, with that, coming to the next segment of our talk, that how the traditional yoga practices are differing from the Western culture.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, Ali. As you spoke about the Western culture, it is always like it was rooted in India, but then it has been taken away from us and repackaged and presented to us and sold out to us only. So, what do you think about it?
yes, I totally agree with you that basically Westernization has changed, the way we are looking at yoga nowadays. They have absolutely agree with you that they have repackaged and represented yoga as a fitness trend, basically. The good part is at least due to that we people are getting interested, more and more interested into this. But originally, if we see our Rishi Munis, Indian Rishi Munis have taught this as a deep spiritual and mental practices and promoting the overall well-being, basically, right? So if we see yoga has, a true essence of the yoga that we should honor and we should enrich the Indian heritage as well. So even one shlok I remember from Bhagavad Gita that Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. So I remember while reading this that when Lord Krishna advised Arjun to perform his all the duties with the equanimity. without getting attached to the success or the failure, right? Which means he meant by maintaining the balanced state of the mind, which is the essence of yoga basically. But we all know that maintaining balance, we just say it, but maintaining balance is not an easy task in this day to day life. So overworking, multitasking, even giving priority to the everything in the world but not resting or sleeping has become a trend nowadays. I think, like, you will be agree with that as well. Am I the only one who
Absolutely.
feels that way, or like what are your views on this? We are not giving priority to the sleep.
Absolutely.
We are just scrolling and scrolling Instagram nowadays. So
Yeah, you said it. So true. Like, if you just sit back and think about it, we as a country and also around the world, highest number of population is sleep deprived. Like, we would have heard of circadian rhythm. What is it? It is like a 24-hour internal clock, okay, in our brain that is regulating the cycle of our sleep, of our wakefulness, alertness, sleepness, only by responding to the light that is around us. Okay. Back in the day, our ancestors used to follow this cycle. Okay. They were following it. Now, if you would have noticed, even the birds and the animals are still following this law of nature. But we, as humans, have evolved, and we have evolved so much so that we feel that we can surpass this nature. We can go beyond this law. So, overworking, multitasking is applauded, as you said, and resting is taken for granted. People are looking for ways and ideas as to how they can manage as much work as possible within the 24 hours. So, I remove time, I sleep less, and then I use that time for my other things that I feel are more important, more productive, which take more priority. Rest will be managed. So, we have made changes according to our needs, according to what we feel is correct, and we have, changed the routine. Instead of sleeping in the night and waking in the morning, people are going to sleep in the morning, and I don't know when they're waking up. So, 8 hours of sleep, 7 or 8 hours of sleep, as they say, is essential. Has been got down to 3 hours. And there are individuals, I have seen people who take pride in sleeping only for 3 hours, and there is a competition happening. Look, I slept only for 3 hours and I'm so much fresh. But this is all against the law, against the nature, against the science. So, solution for that is only just cleaning up your lifestyle, I think. Coming back to the roots, simplifying your life, and just following the nature. There are people who feel that why should I waste time in sleeping? Rather, I do something else. So it affects your nervous system. If not now, eventually it has its own way to get back to you. So it's that simple. I think sleep is something that we must take into consideration, because then it shows in the rest of the activities that you're doing. So you're absolutely right.
I agree with that. Even myself, if I don't sleep for at least 6 to 7 hours, my body doesn't function at all, at all. So,
Yeah, and people, 6 to 7 hours, even if they follow, they would go off to sleep at 3 in the morning and wake up at 10 or 9 or 10 or 11. And that completes the 8 hour cycle, but it is still against the law. So slowly, gradually, if we can make changes, if not drastical changes like sleeping at 10 when you're used to sleeping at 2 a.m., just half an hour prior, 1 hour prior, slowly, gradually, and that will help.
true, true. I agree with that. So, if we like generally talk about, say, for example, my routine as well. So, I
Yeah,
generally sleep
I
at
was
10.
so curious to know. Like, I remember you telling me that you're on a sabbatical, you quit your job and you're writing your thesis. So I was sorry to cut you, but I was curious to know that how does your routine look like each day when you're
Generally,
at
it's
home?
very boring actually, writing the thesis, sitting back and,
How boring is it?
waiting
Tell
the
us.
script. So generally I sleep at 10, 11 maximum. And then I wake up at 6:30 or 7 a.m. in the morning. And then I go for
Every
a
day.
walk. Yeah, almost every day. Almost. Not on Sundays, I can
Okay.
say. But I go
Yeah,
for a
Sunday
walk
is a
in
rest
the
day.
park. Yeah, Sunday is the rest day, truly. So I go for a walk in the park nearby, and where we have a gym as well. So I recently started working out there, and then I come back, prepare some breakfast basically, because it's still winter, so we have good fruits, and we can make the juices as well. So then I start
The
practicing.
juices, about the juices, I would like to know more about it. Please tell me.
I
You
generally
prepare it on
prepare.
your own?
Yes, prepare it on
Yeah.
my own. So I generally prepare ABC juice, that is amla, beetroot, and carrot juice, well known for the winter. Yes,
Oh,
so
wow. I
I
know of apple, beetroot, and carrot, but amla is also interesting, I'm sure.
yes, it's really good for hair growth as well. So yeah, I prepare the juice, I have it, and then I start practicing on my mat. I practice, like I start my practice during that time. Then I start my daily work, as I'm writing the thesis currently. So almost the entire day I write the thesis and take some breaks, then again write the thesis. So do some stretch, again the thesis and all. So that is my daily routine, I can say.
That's wonderful. And then, if you're writing, for how many hours at a stretch do you write?
At a stretch, I cannot sit so much, I can say. So 1 or 2 hour I sit and then do some stretches and then again write. So back and forth like that.
Okay, so sitting on the chair. So please share with us, like, what stretches do you do?
Those are a few very simple stretches which help me to move my body as well and release the stiffness in any part of my body. Some of the breath work also, which will, help me to focus more in my work or in my writing. So there are some few movements which I do, few stretches which I do.
We can practice it now if it's okay with you.
Sure, sure. Yes.
Okay, great.
So I'll show you some stretches which will help you as well, and all you can join as well who are in the joining in the live. Okay. So first is spine twisting, very easy, normal movement, but we forget to do it on a daily basis. So what we do is we stretch our arms up, we raise our arms up, stretch it very nice, give elongation to the spine, and then we place our left palm on our right knee and right palm behind us and look back. So it will give a nice twist to the spine. Then come back center. Then again raise the hands. Then right hand on our left knee and left palm behind us. And then again we look back, which will give a nice twist to the spine and come back center. So this was for the spine basically. Then I also feel some stiffness in the neck area
I'm
and
already feeling great. I've been sitting on the chair for like more than half an hour now. I think almost an hour. This was a good break. Yeah,
true,
please
true,
tell
true.
me more. Yeah.
Then I also have some stiffness around my neck and shoulder area. So for that, what I do is I make the cup shape fingers like this, put it on my shoulders like this, and then I do some shoulder rotations in clockwise and then in the anti-clockwise manner. So which will release all the tension in the shoulder area, right? And after that, for neck, I generally do some neck rotations. So during the neck rotation, when we are going up, so we inhale basically, and then when we are coming back like this, we exhale. So with the inhalation going up, and with the exhalation coming back. So that's how, in the clockwise manner as well as in the anti-clockwise manner, we rotate our neck as well. And then what next? Yes, if you are
We're
sitting
talking
and
about some pranayam also.
yes, yes,
Breathing.
sure, sure. So one pranayam, which is my favorite one, Anulom Vilom, which is alternate breathing, alternate nostril breathing practice, which really has, a huge impact in my life, I can say, which instantly makes me feel calm. Because as you said earlier, that we don't focus on our breathing. So this helps on, focusing the breathing as well. So we'll try that as well if you are okay.
Sure, sure. Yes, yes.
All can join with that. So what we do, we take this mudra with our right hand. So right thumb, yeah. So right thumb will be here on the right nostril. So we close our right nostril with the right thumb, and then we inhale from the left nostril. Then with the help of the ring finger, we basically close our left nostril, and then we exhale from the right nostril. Again, we inhale from the right nostril. We close it with the thumb, and we exhale from the left nostril. Once again, we inhale from the left, close it, and we exhale from the right. And for the last time, we inhale from the right, close it, and we exhale from the left. And release, take some few breaths, gentle inhalation and exhalation.
So hot. Okay.
And then slowly you can open your eyes.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Wonderful. I felt like not opening my eyes. It was great.
Yes, so
That's
that was
great.
all
So
about.
thank you for sharing your routine, Krupali, with us. And I already am too much inspired by you. But now I am going to make the ABC juice. After listening to after listening to you, I also want to try it. I am going to do it.
Sure.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, that was all about my routine, my stretches.
Great. This was like a short, light-hearted conversation that we wanted to have with each other and wanted to share it with everybody, all of you, so that we can actually be able to set an example that if it can make a difference to us, it can make a difference to you as well. It is just that you have to go ahead and take that step, try it out. Whatever you've been thinking that you want to begin with this, begin with that, but it's not happening, just go ahead and do it. Okay. If you have faith in your practice, if you have belief, if you trust it, then definitely it is going to give you a lot in return, more than you expect. So, for example, you join a yoga class, you find a good teacher, you begin with your practice, and then after a few days or months, then you think of, okay, what are the benefits that I'm getting? I'm not able to see anything, or I had joined it for this and this reason. I'm not able to lose my weight, or I'm not able to this. But the concept of uh, having benefits attached to our practice should be dropped, because then it is not a complete practice. Then it will always leave you with, attach you with expectations. The moment you come to the mat, you need to have the feeling of surrender. When you surrender, if you have that ability, if you have that quality in you to be able to surrender, you will literally be surprised as to what all can come your way. But with patience, with consistency, and with discipline, motivation will not remain forever. Like some days we are highly motivated. We want to go to the gym, we want to hit a yoga class, we want to go for a run, cycling, everything. One day, second day, day two, day three. And then what? Then we are exhausted. Then we leave everything कि अब कुछ नहीं करना है. That's when discipline comes into the picture. So take small steps, baby steps, set literally very little day by day goals, and then you will see that consistency can take you along. So these are the small tips and tricks from our side. And if you have any questions, anything to share with us, we would be more than happy to discuss it.
Yes.
Stop it. How are you? Look,
So if anyone has any question, you can ask any simple doubt.
Hello. You can tell us where are you joining from?
yeah. You need a minute. Doctor say, that's good.
I have frequent headaches. What pranayam should help? And one more question is, I've been having trouble sleeping lately. Any tips that could help? I'm from Pune. Okay, hi Pune. So, hello, Faith Dream Life. Krupali, would you like to answer the question? Frequent headaches, what pranayam will help?
For headaches, you can try Brahmari as well. Brahmari, which really helps to calm your brain. So even if you have migraine or if you have constant headache, which I had as well. So Brahmari pranayam will help you a lot. And for the details, you can, join the class as well. So where we'll be teaching that for sure. There is
Right,
one
right,
question
absolutely.
that are there any yoga stretches after gym workouts? Nidhi, would
Oh,
you
I
be able
cannot see that. I can see this question. I've been having trouble sleeping. So I will answer that first.
Yeah.
So for sleeping, again, Brahmari pranayam is great, as Krupadi had mentioned. But try to, introspect your day. Just see how your day is going. What time are you starting your day? Are you getting tired enough? Are you exercising enough? Are you moving enough? Are you eating well? And are you taking a nap in the afternoon? If yes, then how long is it? If it is too long, then try to cut it short. If you are a late, if you're a person who wakes up late in the morning, then you try to wake up early, start your day early, and plan your day in such a manner that by the evening, you are so tired that the body does not have any other option but to fall asleep. See that how much caffeine intake is there in a day, how much coffee, are you a coffee drinker? And apart from that, a movement before going to bed, like doing your cat and cow movement, stretching a bit, sleeping spinal twist. Legs up the wall is a great way. You take the legs on the wall and lie down in shavasana. That's a great practice that's a great practice to be able to incorporate before you sleep. But having said that, your meal should be much prior. Not that you've eaten at 11 and then at 12 you're trying to move and stretch and all of that. There should be a gap of around 2.5 hours between your dinner and your sleep time. Okay, so these practices will surely help. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, so there is one question that the yoga stretches after the gym workouts. So it depends on the gym workout, which type of gym workout you're doing. Say, for example, if you had the leg day. So after legs day, basically, your quads and the hamstrings are so sore. You can feel the muscle pain. So at that time, stretching the quads basically through lizard poses or simple the four movements we can say, making four, which is very easy and very convenient practice. Even the legs up on the wall is very helpful for that as well. But if you had other days, say for example shoulder or neck, so those stretches are according to the you know you had in the gym, so which will be differing for each and every gym workout basically. So I hope I was able to answer that question. Do you want to add anything in that, Nidhi?
No, no, absolutely. There's one more person, I think Sumit Malve. He asked leg stretch for stiff legs, and you already answered that. The same thing applies to his question as well. When there is too much stiffness, you can do twisting. You can calf raises also help in that. So yeah, you already answered.
Two more. And there we go. It's a thing.
Okay. So yeah, this brings us to the one more question. Can we do yoga on empty stomach? We can do yoga only on empty stomach, Vanshika. We cannot practice when we are full. So, like, if you feel that it's completely empty, you can just have a dry fruit or a fruit in the morning. Just something really light. Avoid tea and coffee, maybe a juice, fresh juice, if that is handy. Otherwise, just a dry fruit, some water before your practice. And once you're done with your practice, and then you can go ahead and have your meal or your breakfast. Right, Krupali?
Yes, totally agree with that. If you are practicing in the evening, you can practice 4 hours after your lunch, 4 to 5 hours, at least take that break after the lunch as well.
So,
So are there any other questions? I cannot see the other questions.
I think it's only this. So this brings us to the end and the most exciting part. If you all remember, Krupali mentioned in the beginning that stay tuned till the last because we have an offer for you. So the offer is that the first 10 uh, people to message and to book the class will get 20% discount on our live classes. So just go ahead and avail it and join the community, and we will be more than glad to see you there, and we can have a good time together while making ourselves healthy and happy.
Same from here. So guys, join.
Sumit is
And
asking hip mobility. So yes, Sumit, do join in and avail of the package, and then we can practice together on the leg stretches for stiff legs and hip mobility.
exactly. So thank you all. Thank you very much for joining with us and listen to us, of course. And we are
Absolutely.
really happy that so many people joined. So we are more than grateful.
As much as I hope all of you all enjoyed the conversation as much as me and Krupali did, talking to each other and sharing our experiences. And thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Okay. So bye bye.
Bye, Krupali. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.